This is Professor Simon, and I'm going to present the second part of our lecture on Web 2.0, starting with an overview, and then I'm going to show you and talk about specific Web 2.0 applications in specific categories. So, what is this toolkit? These applications that we're talking about, how are people using it, and then how can we use it? How are students using it? How are our colleagues using it? And then how can we harness the power of this? What are some of the items in the toolkit? The toolkit has wikis, and one of the most famous wikis, of course, is Wikipedia, and that is server-side software, and people contribute to that. Blogging. We did an assignment on blogging where we constructed blog posts. User-generated content, persons generating the content to show others online. Google, which is a major player, they have a whole suite of products: Google Plus, Google Docs, Google Sites, and of course their search engine. Social networking is what we expect it to be: Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, those types of applications. They're open source in nature, meaning that the source code is available to the users to edit and tweak as needed. Peer-to-peer, sharing with one another, mobile connectivity for your mobile devices, your cell phones, smartphones, tablets. GTD is getting things done, which I still really like that. That's sort of a passé term, but that is indicative of a category of applications that would help keep you organized. Reminders, checklists, calendars, those sorts of tools. And then web standards, mainly dealing with HTML5, which is a new programming language that is seeking to push Flash out of the scene. The first thing we want to talk about is some Office applications, and one of those is Google Docs, and this is a free app, and Google Docs provides you with the functionality of a full-fledged Office suite. And we all know that Microsoft Office could be very expensive, and Google Docs is free. So I'm going to go to the web browser here. I'm going to sign into my Google Docs account. And it would let me create. I could create a document, I can create a presentation, a spreadsheet, a drawing like a floor plan or blueprint, and I can create a document. I can format this document. Notice I'm all inclusive here in the web browser, and I have not downloaded anything. All I had to do was sign in with my credentials, and I can save it, I can download it, I can share it with other people, I can email it, I can publish it to the web, I can print it to my printer, and no one would ever know that it was done in Google Docs. And it's just a really robust application, and I like it very much. It lets you, I'm not going to enter a document name here, I'm going to go ahead and I can close that out, and there's my document. I could create a spreadsheet, which, here's the functionality of Excel. All within my web browser. So it's really fantastic. It's a great tool, and it's free, and that's Google Docs. Here are some applications that fall under the presentation/images category, and one of them that I am really fond of is TeacherTube, and that is a sterile version of YouTube. and they vet their content. And one of the cute clips on here is "If I Were President," and this is children in a classroom, and they are
These days, when people are looking for
the
products and
students
information,
are
they go
going
where?
to
Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Are they
um,
finding your products and information? If
show
not, it's time to
what
step
they
up your
do as President of the United States. And this is an activity in a classroom for President's Day, and it's really, really cute.
If I were the president, I would make sure everyone would be kind to each other.
So that's a real cute clip, and it's a lot safer than YouTube. A lot of schools have now blocked YouTube. SlideShare allows you to create an account, and it converts your PowerPoint presentation into a format that can be viewed, maintains all formatting and links, and the viewer does not have to have PowerPoint on their computer in order to view it. And this is a really great tool. It's free. You can upload it and put your content in it and share your PowerPoint presentations with other people. Adobe Photoshop Express is all of the power of Photoshop for free online. Photoshop is a very expensive application to purchase, and this allows you to go in and edit and create content using the Photoshop kernel for free. Picnic, some of you who are listening to the lecture might be familiar with Picnic, and Picnic is moving to Google+, and that is part of their long-term range plan is to go to Google+. So they are going to still have their same photo editing tools, will just be over at Google. And Picnic really allows you to do a lot of things, some scrapbooking types of things, and libraries, collages, making a nice slideshow there, and it is free, and it's going to be consumed under Google+. So another example of Google becoming a major player in Web 2.0. Another one that I really like is called Pixlr, and Pixlr actually lets you edit images in your web browser just as you would using Paint on a computer or as you would use Adobe Photoshop. And you can create a new image, you can save it, and you can save it directly to your desktop. You can save it directly to the computer. You don't have to save it in the cloud. And it's very robust, and there have been times where I needed to do something quickly and I only had access to a web browser. I had to do an image really fast, and I was able to use Picnic and get the job done. And I mean Pixlr, not Picnic. We were just talking about Picnic. Pixlr, and it's free, and it works very, very well. Here we have Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street sharing their time with the rubber ducky, and this next section brought to you by the letter S, sharing, sharing, sharing. As I mentioned yesterday, Web 2.0 applications have a real emphasis on collaboration and sharing. That's one of the hallmarks of Web 2.0. And so this next section, we're going to talk about applications that are used for collaboration. And a couple of three that are wiki-based, where you can create websites, are Google Sites for free to make websites, PBWiki, and in Wikispaces. And you can use all three of those, are free, to make websites, and you can share information with other people. And I'm only going to go into two specifically right now for this lecture to show you, and they are Bubbleless and the Awesome Highlighter. Bubbleless is a really cool web-based brainstorming utility that makes brainstorming simple. And you don't even have to sign in to do a brainstorm. You can simply start here and I'm hungry. Well, where do I want to eat? Well, I want to go to Taco Bell. I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to Applebee's. I want to go to Roosters. And it lets you do that. You can save it. You can save the document. If you sign up for a free Bubbles account, you can print it, or you can export it as an image. Alright, you have the option of exporting it as an image, either a JPEG or a PNG. And you export it, and you can save it and have it right on your computer to refer to later. This is a really awesome tool. If you delete them, they sort of just disappear. And you can sort of do some formatting types of things as well. I really like Bubbleless. It has come a long way. It first was released in 2008-2009 timeframe and has really become a serious app, a serious Web 2.0 utility in the past 3 to 4 years. And I have actually used this for group brainstorming sessions, and it's been really a really powerful tool. So Bubbleless is one that you might like to take a look at. Another one that I really like and have found a lot of use for is the Awesome Highlighter. And it really is awesome. And the Awesome Highlighter allows you to look at a URL, put it in there, a web address, and it brings it up in another screen, and you can highlight the text that you want someone to look at and give them that URL. So if we're going to do The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, here's the poem. I can copy the address. I can put it over here into the Awesome Highlighter and highlight the page. It's going to bring up the page for me, and I'm going to be able to highlight the text. Here we go. And I can highlight just what I want to tell someone to look at. When I'm done, it's going to give me a new URL, and this is the URL I would give to somebody, and it would show them the highlighted text. And it says right now they're having trouble displaying it, but it does work, and so this just seems like a little technical glitch right now. But that is a really great free application to share with other people. Here are 3 tools for the classroom. Easy Note Cards, which is pretty much what it says it is. It allows you to create note card sets, flashcards, and there's a whole repository of things that people have done for different classes. Here's one, Anatomy of Blood Vessels, and somebody has entered all these. So there might also be some things here that you've studied before, might be interested in. And again, it's free, it's ad-free, don't have any annoying banners on the sides of the screen. Well, that makes it really nice. 2 other things, InGrade, which is a free gradebook, and then Box of Tricks, which is technology and education box of tricks for teachers, which is a huge repository, and this was last updated in February, so it is current. It goes through with live links and some of the best open source Web 2.0 applications on the internet. There's Bubbleless that we just talked about a minute ago, and a lot of different applications on here. I'm sure that there is probably, let's see, Wikispaces and WordPress, so we've used WordPress, and that's fun. Here's one I'm going to open up that I was going to talk about, and I didn't put it in the PowerPoint, but now that I saw it on that technology box of tricks I want to talk to you about, is Wordle. And it's a toy, a web toy here for generating word clouds from text that you provide. And it gives you a visualization here of the most prominent words. And I'm going to do going to open up inaugural addresses of the United States presidents, and I'm going to open up George W. Bush first address and George W. Bush second address. And of course his first address was prior to September 11th, 2001. I'm going to highlight this here. I'm going to do a word cloud. It's going to show some of the themes in his address: citizens, America, country, character, ideals. Looks, like he's trying to bring people together after the start of the war. Now if I go ahead and do a new one with his second address after 9/11, you're going to see a really big difference here. You're going to see freedom, liberty for Americans, and tyranny in the world. So it's just interesting. It sort of gives you a really cool look at the main themes. It goes through and it does an analysis of the terms and the frequency in which they're used. So I really like Wordle. That's WORDLE.net. Alright, let's talk about URL shorteners. Of course, URL is a uniform resource locator. URL is often referred to as a web page address, a website address. And there are two URL shorteners that are very popular and used today, Furly and Bitly. And what Furly and Bitly do is they take the web page address, the URL, and they shrink it down into a short address. So if you have something that's very, very long, it'll shrink it down. And they both work about the same way. We're going to start with Furly. I'm going to type in the address for Marshall's website. And I'm going to enter it. And it wants me to do one of these security codes. Well, if I can figure out what they want me to type. And there's my short URL. So this URL, if I paste it in here, it would take me to Marshall's webpage. The other one is Bitly, and it does the same thing. Here's our professional education unit for college education at Marshall. And it's sort of a long address, and I can just go right here and shorten that link, and it gives me a short link. Short links are good for email. Short links are really good for Twitter because of your character count, and they're really good in Facebook as well. So Bitly and Furly are very, very good. BITLY and FURLY, and those are both .com URL shorteners. So you can still show someone there's a link, but you don't have to worry about the space constraint. You don't have to worry about typing that big URL out. This is something that's really become popular, is a QR code generator. And you probably have seen QR codes on a lot of your documents. You've probably seen them on ketchup bottles, food bottles, in restaurants, and wanting you to scan them in. You think, how do I do this? This is a free app that lets you put in a URL, a web address, a website, and create a QR code. And then someone who has a smartphone, has a tablet, they can actually take that device and they can scan and they can get the information that you're wanting them to get. And it's qrcode.kiowa.com. Lets you put the URL in. I'm going to put in Marshall's web page address. And that is the QR code for Marshall's website, www.marshall.edu. This lets you do a phone number. I'll put my phone number in here at work. And there's a telephone number. So if someone had a smartphone and they scanned this code right now, it would actually make the phone call my phone number. So QR codes are very useful. They provide a lot more information. Very useful in a brochure. You could use a QR code for somebody to get some more information. So QR codes are very popular and very helpful tools.